Hi everyone, this is Hannah from Wonderful Woodlands, and today we're going to look at picking up stitches. This is a technique I didn't learn until very recently. I've been knitting for years, decades maybe, but it's actually really easy. I think I was always intimidated by it and I thought it was going to be really hard, but it's really not. So we're going to look at what it takes to pick up a stitch today. This is our Ocean Waves baby hat, which has not quite been released, but it will be later this summer, so something to look forward to. So I already have my first two stitches on right here. There's different ways to pick up stitches. Usually I try to pick mine up right after I've done a bind off edge, because it creates texture for how you want your pattern to look. But sometimes you might be picking up from with a new color or from a cut piece of yarn, and so having two stitches on the needle doesn't matter, because if you're just starting from stitch one, it's going to be exactly the same. So what you want to look for here, this is an elastic bind off, which we'll cover in a different video. But even if you have a different kind of bind off, or if you're working from a cast on row, which you would see down here, you can see each of these V's is a different stitch. They're a little bit bigger up here because the elastic bind off makes a looser bind off. But so you want to look for each individual stitch here, and I'm coming off a lace row, so I know that's going to make it a little bit harder to track our stitches, but you'll be able to see them line up here. So we're going to go, our first one, we're going to go under both of these two stitches right here. And then I am picking up with white yarn here. So we're gonna catch our white yarn. It's just like a regular knit stitch. Let's do it again. So then we'll go through the next one. So you slide the needle through the yarn, you wrap the yarn around like you're gonna knit, and then you catch the end here. So it's kind of like you're knitting off your piece instead of off of a second needle, but it's still basically the same motion as a knit stitch. So then this is our next one here. And we'll catch our stitch, and then we'll wrap our yarn around, pull it through, and catch our stitch. It's so easy. Once you start doing it a little bit, it's just really not that difficult. The only thing that gets a little tricky with picking up stitches is when you need a really specific number of stitches. You have to count really close, because if you miss, so for example, in this piece, I cast off 60 stitches, and I'm going to pick up 60 stitches, and if I miss one, I'll get to the end of my round and I'll be off by one. So there's ways of kind of faking it, and you can always just make one stitch in the next row, and it's not a huge big deal. But this is picking up stitches. It's just oh so easy. So as we go here, you can see I have some eyelets here, but you can also see for each one of these rows of stitches here, I have a stitch coming off up the needle. So that is picking up stitches.